Hours later, at one point, another man who was in the home opened the front door. He put a baby on the doorstep inside a carrier. That man had his hands up and he was eventually detained. Police do not believe that that man was armed or fired any shots during this incident.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
Somebody gonna clean it up, baby. And who finna get started cleaning it up? The missus. And who finna get started cleaning it up? Jason. Yup, we sure is. We sure is. Hey, y'all, let me applaud my own self. What's going on? What it do? It's your girl, the missus. The missus with the kisses. Mwah. What's going on? Yeah, I'm so excited for tonight. I am so excited. I started to wear my church hat tonight. I really did. But I said, I got these headphones on. And the headphones wasn't going to fit with my church hat. Now, y'all know what my church hat is. Y'all know. It's fly. It's fly. And I'm going to wear it again. I sure am. They love my church hat, baby. At least that's what I call it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Jason in the building. Girl dad.
Yeah, what up, though? What's good?
What's good? How's the girls, girl dad?
They are spectacular. They went down easy tonight, so it's a blessing. I'm feeling all calm and collected. You know what I'm saying? Because they usually give me a lot of trouble. I'm like, Daddy, gotta go to work. And they're like, but you just sitting down there. I'm like, look, don't worry about how I do it. Let me get down here and go to work. But they are excited. I mean, they are peacefully resting in bed.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Now, I'm gonna ask you, and you better tell me the right answer. Did they say their prayers before they went to bed?
That's something we work on. So we all do it together, and it's not nothing that they just do on their own, but we working on it. We getting there, asking for certain things and praying for others and friends and family for sure.
Exactly. Now, y'all, it's funny that you said friends and family. One of the stories that we're talking about tonight, which is the 44-year-old man that was released from prison. I'm sorry, 44-year-old. Oh my God. He was in there for 44 years. I'm sorry. I said that all the way wrong. He was in there for 44 years. And he was in Angola. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but I interviewed my uncle who was in prison for 36 years. He had been in there for 36 years. And I'm looking at this story and I'm like, this man say he from Angola. So I called Uncle Milton. I said, Uncle Milton, do you know Vincent Simmons? Uncle Milton said, yeah, I sure do. I said, Uncle Milton, he free. He a free man. He was like, oh my goodness. He said he actually used to work with him inside the prison. So he knows him
that's
very
different.
well. So yes. So when you guys see the story on Vincent Simmons tonight, which is a story that I really, really hope that you guys stick around for, just always make sure you remember and keep in mind my Uncle Milton. My Uncle Milton.
You know what's crazy is, and I continue to say this because I want to debunk it. When you meet someone and they might know that one or that other person, and you're like, oh, just a small world. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like 6 billion plus people on this earth, and it's a vast, mass of land. Ain't no small world. But then when little things happen, that's like very, not situational happen. I'm like, yeah, I guess that is a small, like that. particular situation will be a very small world. Like, yeah.
Exactly. So you all, like I said, you are in for a show tonight. We do have the pastor over here tonight. So there will not be any explicit language tonight, y'all. No drinking, none of that. Okay? We're gonna do the right thing tonight.
You make it seem like
for the Lord.
we're
For the Lord.
you make it seem like we have mass addictions on this show
I know.
without we ain't doing none of that tonight, y'all. We'll be back.
We'll be back on Friday with our normal scheduled show.
That's
It was crazy,
hilarious.
Jason. It was so funny. That's why I love Jason, y'all. I can sit here and talk to Jason all day long if I can, and we will crack up laughing all day long. Okay, so Jason, before we bring her up, now hold on, we got some people in the comments. How
We
is
see
Jason's
him.
friend's daughter doing?
Was good.
She said, "How's your friend's daughter doing?"
Good. I guess I don't remember what this is a relation to.
Miss Auntie Delphine, he don't remember. Can you put it in the chat? And then
Please do.
I'm sure
I'll
he'll remember
answer.
then.
Yeah.
Veronica, she's just laughing. Hey, sis. She like y'all funny. Okay, y'all. So while Auntie Delphine is putting it in the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce, baby, our next guest, well, our guest for the night, Miss SONESA, who is also a pastor. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Woo! What an introduction was that? But she is a pastor. She is a female gospel rap artist. I have never had a female gospel rap artist on the show. And when I tell y'all, I cannot wait to show y'all. Let y'all hear her song. Off the chain. Off the chain. And if you've been checking in my story on Facebook, you would have heard some of her music just as well. So tonight you're gonna hear the full version of her song called King Jesus. And when I tell y'all, I'm so excited about this young lady. Now, some of y'all may not know her as SONESA. You may know her as something else. Okay. So I'm finna show y'all who she used to be before she formally changed her name. And we gonna hear why too. You ready? Here we go.
Hi everybody, it's me, SONESA, formerly known as Nina Cross. I am so excited to bring you all this video today to explain why I changed my name. A lot of you have been following me for about 18 years and I've been growing the Nina Cross brand for that long. Well, it was really a thing in my mind that I knew that God said he would make my name great. However, Nina Cross wasn't my name. And so I began going on a quest trying to find a new name. And in the quest, I found out that my birthright name, Shanisha, is SONESA in the Greek. And a lot of time I thought my name meant nothing. And what I found out and discovered is that my name actually means something. SONESA is derived of Greek word sonesis, and it means flowing with understanding, wisdom, and prudence. And so I said, wow, it was kind of like a light went on in my head. It's like, wow, all this time, the name that was chosen and selected for me is actually great in its meaning, and I never knew that it had a meaning. And so I just wanted to make sure that all of the people that have been following me for a long time understand the magnitude of the name change and why. It was necessary for me to step into something different. It was necessary for me to take on something that belonged to me. And that's why I transitioned from Nina Cross to SONESA.
Hey, SONESA.
Wow. Hi.
Yeah, SONESA didn't know I was gonna play that clip, baby. SONESA, I know you ain't crying already, girl.
No. You blew my mind with that one.
Well, I tried to do something special for each guest that come on my show. So I was very, very, what's the word I want to use? I was very shocked. I'm gonna say shocked when I saw that, because the other videos that you had your hair like that. And when I saw that, I said, okay, she rocking braids. She rocking the braids. Yeah, I like that. So when I tell you I am so honored to have you here today. Not only are you my first guest that was or is a rap artist, gospel rap artist that is, but you're actually a pastor.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so I'm just so honored to have you here. So honored. I got it,
Wow.
Jason. Don't worry. I got it.
Wow. I mean, it's an honor as well. Likewise, I've never done a type of show like this before, so it's also my honor to be here. I'm so thankful for you having me on your platform, and I'm excited about the show. We about to get it in.
Yes. So we are all from Michigan. So that's one of the good things up here. Michigan is in the building, baby.
Yeah. What up,
Fabulous.
though?
Celeste is actually from where I'm from Saginaw. And I never knew her. Never
Yeah.
knew her. Someone I want to say referred, but I really don't like using that word referred. Someone reached out to me and brought her to my attention. And they was like, I really think she'll be good on your show. And I'm like, okay, well, send me her information. And when I got her information and I read up on her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's dope. She's everything. But he did not tell me she was a pastor. So I got to tell everybody. I got to tell them. Sonessa, I got to. So me and Sonessa on the phone talking. And I knew she was a gospel rap artist. That's all I knew. And I'm like, well, Sonessa, I said, I got something to tell you. Because she was so excited to be on the show. I was excited to have her on the show. The vibe was off the chain when we talked on the phone. And I said, but I got something to tell you. And she was like, what? I said, well, I drink on my show. And I also curse. I said, but I won't curse or drink while you on there. And she was like, oh, it's okay. She said, well, let me tell you something too. I said, what is it, girl? I'm a pastor as well. This is what I started to do, Jason.
Did you have some Hail Marys and everything? Father of Grace. I'm sorry, sister. I didn't mean.
Oh my God.
I said, oh Lord, I'm gonna explain this to Jason that he can't say his bad word. So Nessa, I told you you're gonna have some fun tonight. If you don't have no fun at all, I promise you're gonna laugh. You gonna laugh.
Absolutely. I'm with that. Laughter is good medicine for the soul. Listen.
Best. The
Yes,
best.
yes. So Vanessa, please tell everyone that's out there watching just a little bit about yourself.
Man, listen, I've been rapping for over 20 years. And of course, I love my Jesus. She keep telling y'all I'm a pastor. She just said that about 500 times already.
I can't help it, girl. I can't help it.
And I'm just a soldier. I'm a servant, and I just want to be a good impact for the world in the body of believers. So I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, and I'm excited to be here. I mean, it's a lot to say, but I mean, I think the most important thing is that I love my Lord and Savior, and that's it. That's
Amen.
real.
I know that's right. Now, you said you've been doing look, Mama Peach on here, my mama. We call her Mama Peach. Hey, Mama Peach.
Hi, Mama.
Now, now you said you've been rapping for 20 years. Now, we're not going to get into a whole interview with Sonessa because Sonessa is coming to Hits 92.3. Now, she's not coming in physically, but she will be in the building. I got to say in the building.
In
And
the
we're going to do a full interview on Sonessa and her music. But I have to ask you right now. You said that you've been doing music for 20 years. Now,
Mhm.
I know this answer, but for the people that don't know, that's wondering, were you doing gospel rap for the entire 20 years?
No, no. I started off as a battle rapper, street rapper, Saginaw, like competing, battle East.
Look at
Listen, I
Jason.
was
Look at this. You
everywhere,
see
East
Jason's
Side, West
eyes.
Side, on the West Side. I was in clubs rapping, going to Flint rapping. I was like 8 Mile style battle rapping, like cuss you out
Wow.
rapping, you know. But God just kind of intervened into my space in my music career. I was trying to be a well-known rap artist and in hip hop world. And I started reading that Bible and my whole life changed. So I've been doing gospel rap for about 15 years. The first
18.
4 years I was doing secular music.
Okay, okay. And I know everybody want to know right now. There's two things they want to know. Number one, how old are you? And before you answer, number one, how old are you? And number two, are you married? Now I don't know that answer.
I knew you was gonna ask me that.
Yes. You sound
So,
pretty, girl. We got to ask that too.
well, okay, so I'm 39 and I am married. So,
Wow.
you know, that is the truth. But as of now, I'm married, you know, and it is what it is, you know. So that's really it. I knew you was gonna ask me about that, but yeah, I'm 39 and I'm not on the market right now.
She's not on the market right now, y'all. She's not on the market. She's taken, okay? Well, I am so thankful once again to have you here. We're going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, you all, please, please, please tune in on, hold on. I know this is bad, but tune in on the 26th. The 26th, February 26th, SONESA will be at His 92.3. You will hear all about her music. Tonight we're going to play one of her songs, but on His 92.3, you will hear at least 3 to 4 of her songs, okay? So make sure y'all tune in February 26th. If there's any changes, I will make sure to let you all know. All right. Well, SONESA, you ready to get started, Peachy Tea Time?
Let's go.
And tonight is Peachy News Edition, baby. It is Peachy News Edition. So I'm so excited once again to have you here. I'm sure Jason is excited just as well. And we're going to go ahead and get started with Mr. Vincent Simmons, who was in there for 44 years. And God said, no more. Here we go.
Lead national correspondent David Begnaud recently sat down with Simmons' accusers, twins who were 14 years old back in 1977. Now he has spoken to Simmons. And David joins us from Angola, Louisiana. David, good morning. What incredible reporting.
Vlad, good morning to you. Hello, everyone. Listen, Vincent served 44 years here at Louisiana State Penitentiary, but he was supposed to serve 100. That was the sentence. For the last 30 or so years, he kept trying to tell judges, I didn't get a fair trial, and here's the information. And they just dismissed him left and right. Get out of here. Get out of here. But yesterday, there was a judge who said to him, I believe that you did not get a fair trial. In fact, that judge's daddy, nearly 30 years ago, dismissed Vincent's attempt. But this judge said, your rights were denied, they were violated, and you get a fair trial. And we were there for all of it.
Vincent Simmons! Time to let him go, y'all. Vincent Simmons!
When the shackled Vincent Simmons arrived at the Avoyelles Parish Courthouse in a prison van, he was carrying a Bible. When his accusers, Karen and Sharon Sanders, the twins that he was convicted of sexually assaulting when they were 14 years old, walked to the courthouse, they paused to pray. Simmons had been in prison for 44 years and tried for most of that time to get his conviction overturned. You've done this 16 times, at least.
Yes.
So this would be 17. Yes. You think this will be the time?
Yes, sir.
We walked alongside Simmons as he was about to face a judge who had recently examined information that was available in 1977, but it was not presented at his trial. That was information that he and his attorneys believed may have changed his conviction for attempted aggravated rape. It took less than an hour for Judge Billy Bennett to say that there had been a lapse in Louisiana justice in 1977.
You free, bro. You free. You're free. Done.
And that Vincent Simmons deserves a new trial. And that is when the shackles came off of his feet. The district attorney said he will not retry Simmons.
So happy to see you.
His accusers, Sharon and Karen Sanders, now 59 years old, decided to stand down.
He went in guilty. He's guilty now. And guess what? He will die guilty.
You ready?
So I'm
ready?
happy. I got 44 years.
All right.
That's good.
What was that moment like for you when you realized that what the judge said meant you were a free man?
Yeah. It dawned on me. This is it. You know? Man, you've been waiting all these years for this.
You'll turn 70 on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Did you think you would die in prison?
Yes. And I had visions of the prison gates opening up. And I'm walking through them.
Are you mad at anyone?
No, I'm not mad.
So you're not mad at the women?
No. I'm not mad at them. I mean that. When I told them I forgive them, that's what I mean.
Now, either he really is genuine and want to know that question, or they trying to keep him up in there. They want to see if he was going to say the wrong thing to keep him up in there. I think that was the best way that he could answer that question. You know, now a lot of people is confused a little bit about this story. He was not found guilty. Okay, he was not found guilty at all. He needed to have a retrial. Okay, because apparently he didn't get a fair trial. So the judge for that particular time, that judge said that he deserved a free trial, another trial. That's when the district attorney or whoever that was, they was like, no, we ain't even try him no more. So now he can go. And that's how that happened. So
that
was never
was a
found
judge.
guilty or not, not guilty.
That was the judge. It was just the son of the judge.
The son of a judge.
Right.
That was crazy to me.
So for me, it shows this, right? It shows that prejudice, and I don't necessarily say racism, but I will touch it just because of the time that it happened in, and especially the place that it happened in, shows a difference. So the world is changing, ever evolving. That means that racism and prejudice is something that's taught, obviously, or something that's held up from a generation that was taught that. Because the son comes in, younger. He looks at least around all of our ages, right? And he looks at the law and he goes, look, by black and white, whatever you guys constitute as the law, and I, employ it as well, it don't make sense. He ain't supposed to be in here. He shouldn't have been in here for 40 years. Let him go. And we won't try it again. He will walk the rest of his life on God Green's earth. You know what I mean? So for me, that says that in time, racism and prejudice I guess, or being prejudiced will lapse. It will end within, a next generation or two, because too many people are coming together just off the strength of love and
common sense.
Common sense. Seriously.
Yeah.
So I'm actually extremely happy to hear and see a story like this unfold.
Exactly. Now, Sonessa, how you feel about that? Because we still have 2 more clips just as well on this.
So, I mean, for me, I looked at it and I just thought that it's an unfortunate situation for somebody to give their 44 years of their life to a system that failed them.
Yeah.
My family is actually from Louisiana, and my dad was in that probably same parish before. And we got injustice treatment down there when my dad was killed myself. So I know that justice system is not all that grand, because when you are allowed to go through trial and people aren't getting their justice, our family going back and forth to court, when the thing should have been ruled obviously the right way. It's terrible. Everybody, it's a no win. And then what the lady said at the end is just like, she further said, we gonna stand down, but we know he guilty. He gonna die guilty. Well, if he was guilty the way that you said, you wouldn't have stood down. You would have stood
exactly
that part.
Maybe there's some lying in what you're saying.
A lot of it.
That's how I felt.
And it's funny that you say that, because like I said, I still got 2 more clips on this. And the last clip that I have on this, it blew my mind. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it blew my mind. So we finna get into the second clip, and then I'm gonna go straight into the third clip. Here we go.
The judge said several times on the bench, I do not know whether Mr. Simmons is innocent or guilty.
Right.
Does it bother you that you walk out of here a free man, but with the suspicion by some people that you may still be guilty?
Well, I still believe that even though I'm out, just like people gonna be people. And some of them gonna say, oh, he's guilty, despite the fact that they had no evidence.
But before he could be free, a remarkable thing happened. Louisiana prison officials required that the shackles go back on so he could go back to prison to be processed.
I'm just telling you, he's a free man.
And though his lawyer pushed back,
You can't be in jail tonight like that. That's not like that would not be a good thing.
he would load up again and travel another 2 hours back to Louisiana State Penitentiary, the largest maximum security prison in the nation, where at sunset, Vincent Simmons walked out of the place he has been held in since he was 25 years old.
Hey, man, I want to...
The judge said on the bench yesterday, I want to be clear, I'm not telling you that Vincent Simmons is guilty or innocent. I'm just telling you he deserves a new trial. When the district attorney stood up almost immediately and said, Judge, we're not going to retry him, that meant the charges at that moment were dropped. When Vincent walked out of here last night, he said he wanted a crawfish dinner. So he got it. What's next for him? He says he wants to leave Louisiana and start again somewhere else.
All right, y'all. So we finna get into the third clip. The reason why I'm up here, because I really want you guys to pay attention to how this third clip starts off. The young lady, the news broadcaster, when the minute she started talking, I cringed. And I hope you guys figure out why I cringed. Here we go.
A lot of people involved working on this case for a lot of years to bring Vincent Simmons into the outside world as a free man. You mentioned he's free but not exonerated. So I do have a question. First of all, who met him there? He was hugging two ladies, and there were some cheers. I'm curious who was there. And also, is there any hope of restitution for the 44 years he paid for a crime he says he didn't commit?
His sisters and his attorney met him here, and there is hope, but it's going to be hard. The DA said he would essentially have to go to what is a trial and convince a judge that he can prove his innocence. Proving that he's innocent may be difficult, but when you say that he had a lot of help, Tony, it's important to note, every attorney who helped him was simply using the information that Vincent had obtained himself. Nobody believed Vincent when he stood up in front of a judge by himself, but he kept trying, and was expecting to die here in prison. But instead, after 44 years, he won.
We are following breaking news. A black man who was found guilty of attempted rape in 1977 has just been freed after a Louisiana judge ruled he did not get a fair trial. Vincent Simmons was serving a 100-year prison sentence for the attempted aggravated rape of twin 14-year-old girls. He was convicted by a jury of 11 white men and one black woman. Simmons says he did not commit this crime. But decades later, the sisters, Sharon and Karen Sanders, maintain Simmons attacked them. 2 weeks after the incident, they told police they were forcibly taken by a black man to a country road and sexually assaulted. The sisters say Simmons gave them his name during the attack, but the women never gave that name to police. They also never gave a detailed description of their alleged attacker apart from his race, and they said, quote, all blacks look alike.
Okay, this is where we get mad at. You know, they always got to take something good and turn it into something bad. Jason, hold your head up. Tupac said, hold your head up.
Man, look. I'm glad y'all gave me the caution tape early before this show. SONESA, thank you for not allowing me to use my expletives, because they are built up right now. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. They news is meant to use not action words. I was trying to think of the word. It's a descriptive of the words that she was using. Black, white, man. Like these are for lack of a better term, action words when it comes to a storyline like this, because they knew her name, they knew his name from the very get-go, so they could have started with Vincent so-and-so and walked into it instead of saying black this, black that, but they let the narrative to be what it was because of how they had to end it when they did what they did. All black people look alike. So why is this man spending 44 years in jail?
Prison.
In prison for something that 10 black men can be accused of based on a 14-year-old descriptions. Like that's crazy to me. But then that shows the time, that shows the place, and then that just shows the even more, not necessarily the narrative of today's society, but of what a lot come from. So I mean, it is beyond, but they're trying to do it again in front of our face now with the news broadcasting, because that description right there and how she led that into one part of the story was, I'm trying to hold back, but that's what I got right now.
She shouldn't even said none of that. She shouldn't have said none of it at all. They shouldn't even describe nothing that the girls said, that the twins said. None of that should have been put out, because there's no reason for this man to be in there for 44 years off of that description. And there was no evidence at all. I add that he went up for appeal 16 times.
Yes.
16 times. This was his
at least the fourth one
time.
you had to look at it like, well, let me look into it. It was the same judge, because if it's in Louisiana, small town, or not even small, but like that same, like, let me get my words out. Okay. No one voted for a new judge in that district. As long as he was on the board,
exactly,
he could always be like, oh, I know that name. Nope. I know that name. Nope. And if no one ever voted him out, they'd have never looked at it again, right? So that's real. That's really being a victim of the system, and no one voting to change it at all.
Exactly. So Nessa, how you feel about this?
I feel like this man took the time to get his own evidence. And when they talked about his evidence, they also said that there was no supporting evidence that these two ladies were even tampered with. There was no sign of rape at all. So he could have been exonerated a long time ago. They use those derogatives of black, white, and all those semantics in trying to make everything look a certain way. You're just really bringing modern day slavery back in our face. You're just making a difference, a differentiation between the races, and how that this country, not all, are favoritive of the white or whiter people, or Caucasian people, and that was the time but really, if you look at what's going on now, it's still that time. It's still here. It's just in another form. It's got a new mask, and so they don't want us to talk about it, because now it's an uproar, but it's an uproar when it's injustice, no matter what color we are, So that's kind of how I feel about it.
Perfect example, and I lived it. I was here for it. George Floyd, perfect example. Like not even to talk, anymore about it, but you brought it up and it just made me think of it. It's right in our faces still.
Still, exactly. So y'all, we finna go ahead and get into SONESA's song, King Jesus. That was the end of that segment. And then after King Jesus, we're going to get into a commercial, and then we'll get into our next topic. Here we go. Girl, stand up. Stand up, Saginaw. Y'all better stand up right now. Stand up. Here we go.
Yo, you live in the mix with my boy, DJ Matt Cummins. Collaborating with yours truly, your girl SONESA, straight out of Michigan. We're going to do this thing right. We're going to get that positive message for Christ. Let's do it. Man, he made me, called me out, and then he changed me from a baby. He knew my name and why he made me. Already paved the way in which he would have me to go. And then he set me free, washed me clean as white snow. My number one provider, my knees supplied him. Took me through the fire to burn the stuff that wasn't like him. How he loved me, he filled me up with his Holy Spirit. And when I read his word, he speak to me to feed my spirit. No variations. He speak the truth, he give empowerment. see how I perform. How he calmed my storms, gave me peace and kept me going. Yeah, he loved me. He carried my sins up on the cross. I gotta thank my Lord because of him my soul got lost. This song is upbeat. Get out your seat, lift your hands up, say hallelujah, I bless you, King. King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, this song is upbeat. Get out your seat, lift your hands up, say hallelujah, I bless you, King. King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yo, he'll never leave me when the world has turned their backs. And at my lowest point, he builds me up and brings me back. Jesus is my friend, whom I will put all my trust. Bought me from the dust, fashioned me up in his blood. No one can take his place, he's the centerpiece of my soul. Show me where to go, what to do and renew my soul. My joy is go, he think of me, yes, as his prize. Man, he bled and died, rose again in his own high. And while I praise him, he embraces me up in his love. He is my savior, who keeps me covered up in his blood. And him is love, company with his mercy and grace. And when I seek his face, he favors me in an open place. To him be glory, humbly, I know it's him. The credit is on his, don't look at me, but look at him. So when you see me, just know it's him and not what I've done. He is the only one who had the power to do all it's done. This song is upbeat. Get out your seat, lift your hands up, say hallelujah, I bless you, King. King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, this song is upbeat. Get out your seat, lift your hands up, say hallelujah, I bless you, King. King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah. Remember to give God praise.
All right. Oh, that's the wrong picture. Jesus. That was from another show. That was from another show. But this is what I wanted to show you guys when we came back up. 2022. Is it Vagma?
It's
That's how you pronounce it?
VOGMA, Voices of Gospel Music Awards.
All right. And she is a nominee, baby, in the building. Yes, nominated 3 times. New Artist of the Year, Gospel Hip Hop Artist of the Year, and Voices of Gospel Music Songwriter of the Year. Baby, you got it going on. You got it going on. Songwriter of the Year. So let me go ahead and move this comment out the way. Give me 1 second. Okay, so voting polls are open February 5th, 2022 through April 5th, 2022. And I voted, Sonessa. I did vote. I sure did. Some of them folks I ain't know, but in order to get to you, I had to go ahead and just pick somebody. But it is unlimited voting. And to vote online, you can go to www.vogma.org. And I would definitely have this in the chat, and it will be on my page. So all you guys have to do is click on it and go vote for Sonessa. Wait, girl, you did that. You did that.
Thank you.
Jason was over there in wow mode.
Yo, Wowland. I was in Wowland. Yeah.
Wow.
This beat up beat. Hold on, how she said. This
Get
beat
out your
up
seat.
beat. There you go. Put your
Lift
hands
your
up.
hands up. Say hallelujah, I bless you, King.
Look at that.
King
You know
Jesus.
what?
King Jesus.
So I run a radio station and an internet radio station, and I pass through so much music, and I mainly acquire about independent artists. And what was so amazing was I was sent a video. Well, I was tagged in a video that you did last year for a prayer, and it kind of all just came in alignment from something I heard early in the day. Then I heard that, and then your next video came up where currently, I think it was back in January, you were starting a radio station yourself, and you were looking for new artists. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I just started passing through so many Christian rappers, and the music is rebounding. It's coming back, and what I love best about it, it's having that new sound to it. A lot of trap beats,
Yes.
a lot of harmonic rap beats, things that people, you know what I'm saying, you can harmonize on, and I was like, wow. So to hear you even be in that bracket as well shows your evolution. So that 20 years, you really get it, because that's what you were saying in your message. Like, I want people on my platform, on my radio station, but you got to bring the heat. Like, you can't just, you know what I'm saying, say that you out here rapping the God's word and it not be good. Like, I can't just take the strength because you putting God in front of it. I need you to have talent. And to be honest with you, I wanted to wait, and I waited to hear this song right now so I can have an authentic review for you. Not even review, but just feedback. And God, I tell you, man, that's good. They bring it has all the elements, right? While it's not something that I would, you know, punch back 4 times in a row, it will be something that if it came on that playlist, I'm like, yeah, keep that on, because I'm gonna do exactly what you're saying. And that's what you did. You gave me directive in part of your in part of the flow, and not only that, you told a very good story that if you follow Christ, these things will happen to you. So kudos to you, young lady. Kudos to you.
Kudos on this. Kudos.
Thank you. Wow.
And what I would like to say is, I'm so glad that you transitioned into gospel rap. But I can just imagine, you know, because I'm gonna be honest, that's what I do. I keep it 100 on my show. I can just imagine that you was a beast back in your day.
I could only imagine.
You was a beast battling out here. Oh my goodness.
Your cadence is crazy. So yeah, I could only imagine. Yeah.
I could just see you just out there, just you just get. I could just imagine. But like I said, I'm so thankful that God brought you to where you are right now. Yeah. Because you are truly, truly an inspiring person to so many people out there. So many people.
Thank you.
And I'm one of those people.
I appreciate it. I do. I'm so thankful that God changed my music as well, because I was out here.
I could only imagine if your name was Nina Cross and you in secular music, the things you could. Oh, boy.
Actually, I came from Nina Ross in secular to Nina Cross.
I can only imagine.
Nina Ross.
Yeah, I was a pistol to deal with. Something serious.
I can just imagine. Because you is a beast with this. You know what I'm saying? With gospel music.
What happens when God takes yo who you are and just say, okay, now I'm just like, what you say, the Department of Defense for the Kingdom of God. You better back up, devil.
Let's go. Yeah. I need 6 feet right now. You know what I mean?
6 feet right now. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get into a quick commercial, and then we will be starting our next topic, which is called Chinatown, baby. And y'all going to want to see this. Here we go. Hey y'all, it's your girl, the missus with the kisses. Mwah. I am looking for some independent artists. Come on down and kick it with me at Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio, baby. Okay, so get at me, DM me, inbox me, text me. It don't even matter. Just get at me so y'all can be sitting right here in the studio with me, y'all. Okay? All right. Deuces. Bye.
Night on that woman followed and then killed inside her own apartment in Chinatown. We've learned the victim's identity, 35-year-old Christina Yuna Lee. Eyewitness News has obtained security camera video from Lee's building showing her alleged killer follow her inside. Neighbors reported hearing screams, and police found Lee dead in her apartment's bathroom. There is a vigil planned for her tomorrow morning. Eyewitness News reporter Naveen Dhaliwal has our story tonight.
The details of this crime are terrifying. A man follows a woman into her building and then barges into her apartment, attacking her viciously. She fought hard, but in the end, sadly, she lost.
This is just the most horrific scenario you can ever imagine.
Landlord Brian Chin trying to come to terms with the horrific murder of his tenant, Christina Yuna Lee, here at 111 Christie Street.
She did nothing wrong. She entered and he followed her.
Police say this man with the bloodstained shirt attacked Lee early this morning when she returned home.
I'm angry. I'm devastated for this woman and for her family.
At 4:23 a.m., Lee enters the two doors of her building. That man right behind her 7 seconds later.
When she got in, she just unlocked both of them, and he had just slipped in right behind her.
Following her closely as she walked up the stairs and down the hallway to her 6th floor apartment where she lives alone, that's when he strikes, entering her apartment. Moments later is when neighbors heard the screams. Police say the 25-year-old was caught trying to go down the fire escape.
When I read that he tried to flee via the fire escape, my heart dropped because in order to get down here, you have to pass my window.
The fear now setting in as inside that apartment, Lee was found stabbed to death in her bathtub. A knife also found at the scene. While Chin says the building is secure.
We have solid metal doors. We have multiple locks on every point of entry. We have alarms.
The sense of security for those living here ripped away.
I don't enter the second door until the first door has completely closed. But I know that not everybody does that.
Investigators say that suspect arrested is homeless. They say he's been arrested 7 times since 2015. Right now, he's at the hospital undergoing a psych evaluation.
See, that's the problem with that. I don't understand. How do you have that many offenses up against you and they just let you right on out?
Well, because all right, so this is one thing that I learned a long time ago, and a couple of people do it here. So in Minnesota, especially in cold weather places, they end up doing it. They need somewhere to live, and then a lot of shelters are closed, or they capacity, and they won't allow people in. So a lot of people that are homeless will commit like small, minor, petty like things to get them through the winter. And then they'll be released either, you know what I'm saying, later that summer or that fall, however that may be, something that hold them over for a little bit. Because, I mean, you got to think about it. They go to jail, they're getting clothing, bathe, food, stuff to do. Like, they're just hanging out with a bunch of dudes at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So that's where I see that at. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
I think some snap, pop, or something didn't work out the way it was supposed to. So he was supposed to break in, you know, maybe knock her over the head and she pass out and she wake up, he's still there, she caught a cop. I don't know, something where he get caught again. So he's not out in the winter because it looked like they were in New York. So I was like, so, you know what I'm saying? He can have a place to be. But instead she put up a fight and he's like, damn, I might have to. And it went there. So now that should change everything. But he might have something actually really, 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 really wrong with him too. You know?
Exactly. You never know. You never know. SONESA, she went up 5 flights of stairs, 5 or 6, with this man following behind her. I don't think I would have made it to the second with this man following behind me.
Listen,
you know, there's no way I would have went to my door.
He wouldn't have never made it to the first. I would have been like, can I help you?
Exactly. Exactly. I would not have kept going. There's no way possible.
So
out my purse and whatever else I got on me.
Exactly.
I was like, sir, this might not be a good idea for you today.
That part.
Not today. Not today.
I wonder did they say how old
today.
she was? Did they say how old she was?
35 or something like that.
35.
35. Yeah. Okay. Only person in this world syndrome is only I can think of. Like you too in tune with your podcast, your music that you listen to, both earphones in, and you tapped out of this world, and you a drone, and you just you kind of this is the normal. You know what I mean? I walk in, I go upstairs, I let the doors automatically close because they're heavy steel doors, and like no, men and women, children and adults need to protect themselves and be absolutely aware of their
Aware of your
surroundings.
surroundings.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take it here just because, not even just because you are on the show, but I always do this too. I add just a little bit of there. If there's a lot of filled vessels with the holy word or halfway, and they feel like God and they got the presence over them, either they witness it and they know it or they don't. There are a lot of empty vessels out here in the world.
Exactly.
So what happens is you see two empty vessels get tangled up and one of them wins. She's empty. She's not paying attention. She's not aware, because if you tapped in, you feel somebody. Like, I could be dead asleep sometimes or a little bit, and I could feel a presence when I walk in the room or whatever, So if you don't feel this person next to you or walking behind you, you tapped out. You're not in there. You're not in there. Simple as that.
And even if you have headphones on, sometimes you still can feel somebody in your presence. Just somebody's there, So we're gonna say she didn't have the headphones on. She still shouldn't have continued to go up them flights. She still shouldn't have went to her own place. Even if you're gonna knock on somebody else's door that you don't even know. Knock on their door.
Look,
but never let nobody know where you live at.
I'm zigzagging through that whole thing. First floor, oh, someone's still with me. I'm going down the first floor. Now I'm starting knocking on doors on the second floor. Third, no.
I'm turning around. Talking about, excuse me. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Where you think you going?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say excuse me and turn around and go back down the stairs. I'm not gonna keep going up. No.
Exactly.
There's no way possible, especially if you don't have anything with you to protect you. There's a lot of women now and I got a couple of friends that's like this. They're not going down to the corner store without their tool with them. You see what I'm saying? People, women are carrying their tools with them like it ain't nothing.
Look.
Like it ain't nothing. So if you are not protected, ladies, and I'm not saying go out there and get you a gun. I'm not saying it. You do what you got to do.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that. Yeah, you do it.
Jason said, "Go get it."
It don't take nothing. Look, it take nothing but 3 weeks to get the permit, the papers, and for it to be sent to your house. And then it takes another 2 to 4 months of you going to a target practice and shooting range to get comfortable with it. That's all it takes for you to be prepared. That's it.
Exactly. But if you don't have that tool, they got mace out there. They got tasers out there. You know what I'm saying? I have a tool. I don't like taking it with me, but you best believe I got my taser with me everywhere I go. You're not you will not get 6 feet in front of me and think you finna follow me wherever I go. You will not. You will not. That won't happen. As scary as I could be sometimes too. Oh no. I'm telling you, I would have turned right on back around, heart beating and everything. But I would have turned back around when I was talking. I would have said, "Excuse me, mister."
Scary. Excuse me, what you doing?
Can I help you?
I wouldn't even say none of that. I just said, "Excuse me, mister." Oh no, you got plenty of room. We got room.
And just the FYI, while if anybody comes in late or caught us at the beginning or end of the story, we're not laughing at her situation. We're laughing at really of the commonality of how we would act or react to that kind of situation. It can be absolutely terrifying, and some people might freeze up. But if that's you, I'm sorry, but don't. Obviously, a lot of people talk about it. Don't go to your home, go to someone else's door, scream on it. Like, you have to be aware of your surroundings, especially if you're a woman. Like, be aware of your surroundings, and then if you are feeling distressed, yes, yell. If it's a false narrative, then it's a false narrative, but at least save yourself somehow, some way.
Exactly. And I'm gonna go a step further as far as with these headphones. Me and Jason got our headphones on right now because of our sound mixer. Please believe me, that's the only reason why I got mine on. But don't be walking around with both headphones in your ear with your music blasting. Don't be so consumed in your phone looking at text messages and what somebody's saying on Facebook and on IG and not being aware of your surroundings on what's going on. Me and Jay, I think it was you, Jason, that we did on the show, that we showed a woman that was literally SONESA at a stoplight. She was at a stoplight. And somebody came up to the car I think they busted the window out and stole her purse. And she was at a stoplight, but it was a car in front of her, and then they was in the back of her. So for some apparent reason, she felt like she couldn't just punch it. But he literally came up, bust her window out, and took her purse and went on back to the car. This is what he did. Y'all know that's my favorite one. But yes, but apparently you wasn't aware of your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? When you see somebody coming up to your window, I'm not saying pull off, but it's gonna take time for them to act like they finna hit your window. You know, when they do like this, it's time to pull off and go. So when it all boils down to y'all, be aware of your surroundings. Please do. Now y'all heard this. Y'all saw that the guy had blood stain on him. I'm gonna go ahead and play this next clip, and I want y'all to listen closely, because this is where the mental illness, mental health, whatever y'all want to call it, is about to kick in right now. It's kicking in. Here we go.
Tyler, we begin tonight with the murder rocking Chinatown. A 35-year-old Korean-American woman was killed in her apartment early Sunday, allegedly by a homeless man who'd followed her from the street. CBS 2's Christina Fan is live now in Chinatown. And Christina, you spoke to people who knew and admired the Rutgers graduate, including her former boss.
That's right, Dana. Friends we spoke to say Christina Lee was dedicated to making beautiful and inclusive artwork. After hearing that a homeless man is accused of her murder, neighbors rallied across the street today asking the city how many more victims there need to be before city leaders finally take action. Sorrowful neighbors clutching white carnations placed them in front of the building where 35-year-old Christina Lee tried fighting off her attacker. Friends unable to fathom how someone so sweet and kind could have her life end so tragically.
Absolutely devastated. I broke down.
Eli Klein is an art gallery owner who hired Lee back in 2010, shortly after she graduated from Rutgers University. During her 4 years at the gallery, she rose to associate director and was adored by everyone from collectors to curators. Before leaving, she gifted Klein this painting.
She was an extremely hard worker, an extremely quick learner. She put her all into it. She was never late, was accessible at all times, and was responsive and was responsible.
Police say 25-year-old Asamad Nash stalked and followed Lee home to her 6th-floor walk-up Sunday morning. After Lee opened her door, Nash allegedly pushed his way in, grabbed a kitchen knife, and stabbed the victim multiple times. Lee tried fighting back, her cries heard by neighbors who called 911.
I didn't kill nobody.
Nash, who is homeless, has been arrested multiple times the last 2 years for assault, harassment, and resisting arrest. As he was led to his arraignment for murder and burglary charges today, community activists wonder why he was released in the first place.
Many of the crimes in our community are committed by homeless individuals who are mentally distressed.
Lee's latest job was at Splice, where her coworkers described her as someone who always championed for more Asian representation.
She was a leader within her company, leading diversity causes, leading inclusion causes.
Now the community says it is fighting for her, making sure issues of homelessness and mental illness are addressed by City Hall.
We do nothing but warehouse people, sweep them under the rug, and call it service. That is not enough.
And in addition to community activists, many survivors of past hate crimes also came to the rally today. They're so upset because they say about a month ago, when an Asian woman was shoved to death at the Times Square subway station, the city did little to address homelessness and mental illness then. They are worried the same will happen now.
All right, y'all. Now, I don't understand why the little black boy, I'm going to call him little black boy because I'm black. I don't understand why little black boy sat there and said that I ain't killed nobody. When they had you arrested, we all saw the blood on you. And you homeless. And you got all these records behind you. And you going to literally come out your mouth. And they got you on camera. True enough, he didn't know that he was on camera, I'm sure. But you going to literally sit there and say, I didn't kill nobody. That's why I say the mental health kicks in. Because that's a mental health issue. You're caught. You have blood on you. Only thing he need to be saying is, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's it. And praying to God that they have mercy on his soul. That's about it. So Nessa, what you feel about that?
I mean, it was a premeditated situation. That's kind of how I feel about it. Either, whatever he thought the outcome was going to be, he broke into somebody's crib and killed somebody, so whether he had a mental health issue or not, he had enough smarts to stalk her, to follow her, to go into her house, and to actually subdue her and kill her. So I don't care what you saying. You weren't that crazy because you intended to do bodily harm. You intended to do the things that you did. You had a pre-plan. It's called premeditated. So, it is what it is. And you got caught on the scene. They found you there. So how is it that you didn't do it? And everything that you did, you left all the evidence right there in the building. Like, bro, you ain't the smartest bunch in the bunch.
She said the smartest bunch in the bunch.
You can't convince me anything other than 1 + 1 = 2. Because at this point, she said you are there.
5 flights of stairs worth of cameras. Like they see you. Like you just were in the background. What's going on?
My thing is the blood. You got the blood on you, and you talking about how did I do this? Is your stomach bleeding? Is your stomach bleeding?
Terrible.
You said
all bad.
That's the crazy part. You was still there.
You was still there.
Right.
You was still there.
You ain't even get to leave. Like they caught you there, bro. You was just chilling. What were you doing? Trying to eat a
the fire escape, trying to be Spider-Man. Like,
trying to be Spider-Man. Exactly. Exactly.
He had no webs or nothing. What you doing on the landscape? Like
he was probably scared he was gonna fall. He said, forget going to jail or prison. I might fall and hurt myself.
And the one lady was like, that just makes me uncomfortable because he was gonna be by my apartment.
Go sit down.
He ain't want you. He ain't want you. He ain't see you walking.
This has nothing to do with you, ma'am. I get feeling the insecurity, of being unsafe. I couldn't imagine being in a place like that, and there's no safety, and it's not that there's no safety. You have a person that was not aware of their surroundings that could have prevented all of this stuff.
Very much so.
Yeah, it definitely could have been prevented. Definitely, if she would turn right on back around and walk down the stairs and say, "Excuse me."
Wrong building. Wrong building. Let me go somewhere else.
Exactly. You ain't finna find out where I live at. And this like the second. This is the second clip that I played like this, where actually the first one that I played, the young lady went to her door, but Nessa, when I tell you, she made it there just enough time to close her door and lock her door, because he was on her. Do you hear me? But she made it in her house just enough time and locked that door enough time. And he had the nerve. He was black. He had the nerve to knock on the door. Can you open your door, please? Can you open your door, please? He thought that he was gonna get in there. Yeah,
that's insane. It's really bad because, I hate to see this type of thing because it's black people. Like I'm not saying that they should have been another color, but it's just really bad on our race to see the ignorance of the society that we come from.
Thank you.
It's kind of bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, that you think that you can get away with some of the things. Like these 14, me and Jason talk about this all the time. 14, 15-year-old, you're going to literally go out here and kill somebody, and you think you're going to get away. Well, you ain't even got no job to have no money saved up to get away. Where are you going to go at 15, 14 years old, and you just kill somebody? Where are you going to go? Even if you go to mama house, they're going to have to turn you in. They can send you to whoever house they want to send you to. They can send you to another city, another state. You will get caught because you ain't nothing but 15 years old.
Right.
When they send you over to auntie house over there in a whole nother state, guess what? Auntie going to get tired of you. Ain't he gonna say he eat too much? He can't stay here no more. I can't afford it. He got to go. And ain't he gonna tell on you? Ain't he gonna tell on you? Ain't he gonna see that Crime Stoppers is paying some money and they need some bread? They need some bread. And it's anonymous too. And it's anonymous too.
Ah, dang.
You know I'm right.
It's your closest ones.
It's the closest ones to you. The closest ones to you. So y'all, to wrap that up, you have to make sure you are aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
There's no other way of putting it. You have to be, because anything can happen. Anything. Well, y'all, before we get into our last topic of the night, this one was very, very touching to me. The 9 officers that got shot. We're gonna briefly go into SONESA's song, King Jesus. We're gonna play a little bit of that. SONESA, if you need to run out for a second, come on back. Feel free to do that. And here we go.
Yo, you live in the mix with my boy, DJ Matt Cummins. Collaborating with yours truly, your girl SONESA, straight out of Michigan. We gonna do this thing right. We gonna get that positive message for Christ. Let's do it. Man, he made me, called me out, and then he changed me from a baby. He knew my name and why he made me. Already paved the way in which he would have me to go. And then he set me free, washed me clean as white snow. My number one provider, my niece supplied him. Took me through the fire to burn the stuff that wasn't like him. How he loved me, he filled me up with his Holy Spirit. And when I read his word, he speaks to me to feed my spirit. No variations. He speaks the truth. He give empowerment and bless my hands and all I do. I gotta thank him, give it joy for noise unto the Lord. I magnify his name cause he's the reason I have been called. Look into my Lord, I see the works he has performed. How he calmed my storms, gave me peace and kept me going. Yeah, he loved me. He carried my sins up on the cross. I gotta thank my Lord because of him my soul got lost. This song is upbeat. Get out your seat, lift your hands up, say hallelujah, I bless you, King. King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, this song is upbeat. Get out your seat, lift your hands up, say hallelujah, I bless you, King. King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yeah, King Jesus, yo, he'll never leave me when the world has turned their backs. And at my lowest point, he builds me up and brings me back. Jesus is my friend, whom I will put all my trust. Bought me from the dust, fashioned me up in his blood. No one can take his place, he's the centerpiece of my soul. Show me where to go, what to do and renew my soul. My joy is go, he think of me, yes, as his prize. Man, he bled and died, rose again in his own high. And while I praise him, he embraces me up in his love. He is my savior, who keeps me covered up in his blood. And him is love, company with his mercy and grace. And when I seek his face, he favors me in an open place.
Take a look behind me. This is still a very active scene. And right there, you can see that's the house where this all happened. You can see the holes and the cracks in the window, which happened during the standoff. So Phoenix police saying there were 2 separate shooting episodes at this house overnight. And in between, there was an ambush, a standoff situation, and a baby was involved. Now, let's break it down. It all started about 2 o'clock in the morning. That is the first shooting incident. Police responded to a 911 call about a woman who was shot inside the home. Police say the suspect invited the first officer on scene to go into the home to help the woman, but that turned out to be an ambush. Police say the suspect, he's only described as a man in his 30s, shot the officer several times. Thankfully, that officer was able to get away from the house. He's currently in critical condition at the hospital. Then the suspect barricaded himself inside the home. SWAT team members arrived on scene. It became a standoff. Hours later, at one point, another man who was in the home opened the front door. He put a baby on the doorstep inside a carrier. That man had his hands up and he was eventually detained. Police do not believe that man was armed or fired any shots during this incident. Now, what you just saw and heard was the second shooting incident at this home. 4 police officers were were approaching the house to get the baby to safety. All were hit by gunfire fired by the suspect. 2 other officers who were on scene returned fire. 4 officers, in addition to the ones that were shot, another 4 were injured by shrapnel and ricochet bullets during the gun battle. In the end, the gunman found dead inside the home. That brings us to a total of 9 officers hurt. 5 officers were directly hit by gunfire. 1 woman inside the house with gunshot wounds. And through it all, the baby. Bullets flying, but the baby was safe and unharmed. And Phoenix police say this is just yet another reminder of how dangerous and unpredictable their job is.
All right, y'all. Y'all just heard that. First of all, I want to say this. I ain't seen no carrier out there for that baby. He laid that baby on the ground. There was no carrier out there at all. Everything is allegedly. Let me add that. Everything is allegedly. And also fair usage for educational and entertainment purposes.
Gotta do it.
But you gotta do it. But I did not see no carrier out there. It looked like he laid that baby on the ground. But what I will say is God was on that baby's side. I'll tell you that much. God was on her side. Her side because it was a little girl. But the guy that you guys saw come outside, that was the young lady's brother. So it was a domestic violence issue. The police was called. Apparently, allegedly he had already shot the young lady before the police got there, because that's why they came. And he actually told the officer to come on in. And he started to go in, and they got the shooting. And what y'all saw was the second shooting that they had. So it was very, very ugly. Very, very ugly. And unnecessary. Very unnecessary. He killed himself. The young lady that he shot, she is deceased just as well. And from what the news is saying is that those were the baby's parents. Those were the baby's parents. And the baby is in foster care right now. So it's a very, very sad situation. I do have a couple more clips on there, but before we play those other 2 clips, 2 clips. Jason, what you think about this? They were moving like ants.
Right.
They were gone.
Speechless.
They was gone.
Speechless. Again, no one knows what anyone is going through, but not only that, it's a matter of not losing yourself, right? Not losing yourself to what's going on with you and a partner, what may happen with you and your partner, or losing the baby or whatever. But it's safe to say that something was really wrong with the man or the father or the boyfriend, the deceased boyfriend, to go to that extent. We hear stories like this often in what we do here on PGT Time News. And I just wish there was more dialogue to where this, how did it get there? What was happening? Because these are it just doesn't happen, but those are signs, right? Maybe 4 months ago when he was crazy and said some stuff like, "I shoot you. You try to leave me," and she laughed it off. No, report that. Bruh, I'm not stressed over no one. Now my children, I am. But you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm still never going to threaten to take someone's life for them walking away from me.
Exactly.
I have to now look into me and say, well, why don't they want to be around me if they are that close or in love with me? You know what I mean? Or, I don't know. It's a lot of digging that you have to go in through to get a real understanding, because if he killed himself, like I said, there was a lot more to it. I personally think, and I'll be done with this, I personally think once a baby's involved, you need to really stop being selfish, because what happened to me and allegedly is that it was a dispute between that person, the deceased husband or deceased boyfriend, and the girlfriend that led to that. Because at the end of the day, once that baby was born, I had nothing else to do with that person if I don't love them anymore or whatever. I just I'm here for this baby, yo. and try to take it from there. So it's a hard story and a hard dialogue to have, just because we don't know too much about it, you know.
Exactly. And that's one thing a lot of men and women, they feel that once you have a baby by this person, and I'm not just going to say men, I'm going to say women too, they tend to think that they own that person now. Oh, he mine now. He got to do exactly what I tell him to do. Or she got to do exactly what I tell her to do. No, it don't work like that. Even when you're married, it don't work like that. You don't own nobody at all. You know what I'm saying? So Nessa, before you chime in on this, I'm gonna play this next clip, and then I want you to chime on the next one. Here we go.
Nicole, thanks. And as we mentioned, the suspect in all of this is now dead. He's been identified as Morris Richard Jones III. ABC 15 investigator Melissa Blasius found that Jones, who was 36 years old, had a long criminal history. He went to prison in Oklahoma for a stolen car case at age 18. Jones spent much of his adult life in the federal court system. He was convicted for being a felon in possession of a gun and smuggling illegal immigrants. And just last year, he was locked up again for using drugs while on federal probation. And our team coverage continues with ABC 15's Lizdelia Caballero. She's been out here all day as well. She's been speaking to people who know the suspect. Lizdelia?
Yes, and they, like many others in this neighborhood, are still visibly shaken. Some neighbors telling us they still haven't been able to get back into their homes yet. As for those who knew the suspect, one of them telling us she was actually on the phone with him when all of this was unfolding.
It's a little disturbing.
A woman living down the street from where the shooting happened, remembering what her neighborhood woke up to.
They said they heard a loud boom and that there were gunshots and there were a lot of helicopters and things going on outside.
Saying eventually police started evacuating several homes, neighbors checking in on one another.
We all try to look out for each other.
ABC 15 able to talk to Candace Jones, who says she has a child with the suspect Morris Jones III, though not the child that was taken out of the house during the standoff.
I don't know what was going through his head.
Jones says the suspect called her when police arrived at the home near 51st Avenue and Broadway.
He said that it was the police was outside, and I stayed on the phone with him till I arrived here.
Jones says when police realized she was talking to the suspect, they took away her phone.
Nothing should never get a person this far.
LaKenyon Jones telling us the man who fired at officers was his brother, saying he may have been suffering from depression and has called him for help in the past.
He should have called and said something to let people know that he felt like this and he was going to do this.
In total, 9 officers were hurt. 5 were shot, 4 others injured from shrapnel, and a woman inside the home where the shooter was has died.
It's just a tragic situation.
I'm sorry that all this had to happen this way. I feel for the woman that was shot. I feel for the officers.
She feel for him because she know that probably could have been her. I know somebody knew something. Somebody saw a sign. Whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's a wife, whether it's a family member, somebody saw a sign.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This. It has to stop. It has to stop. These men are beating on women, black and white, beating them to death, shooting them like it ain't nothing. But they ain't gonna go out there and mess with another man and fight them. But they quick to fight on women. It has to stop, y'all. It has to stop. So, Nessa, what you have to say about this before we get into the last clip on this?
This guy has a portfolio of behaviors. If you know, the news people put it out plain. This is not somebody this dude's doing. He had immigrants. He had domestic violence, gun charges, all kind of stuff. Like, so this is somebody that is not in tune with his mental side. Like, he definitely have a mental issue, and he's been had it his whole life, it sounds like. So for one to get into it with a guy like that, or in a relationship with somebody like that, you already knew what hand you were dealt with, because it was signs, like you said, that from day one, probably from the jump, you know.
Exactly.
And I think my biggest thing was the scenario. You got a woman and her brother there. how is it that this one individual was able to kill your sister while you up in the house, bruh? And that's that was my first thoughts is like, wait a minute. And why is he so comfortable with you to let you go to
Come
the
on out the
door
house with the baby.
with the baby? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is that about? You know, who is your loyalty with? They saying this dude ain't involved and he ain't a suspect, but bro, you was in the whole house with your family member, with your bloodline, and you let this dude kill your sister, and now he's comfortable with you enough to have you walk out, not
with the
unharmed,
baby,
no strings attached. That stuff don't sound right to me at all.
It don't sound right to me either. They had, even if he didn't shoot him or kill him, you mean to tell me there was no argument with you and him to where he literally was, y'all was arguing, he said, okay, you go ahead and walk out first, you go free. Like, no, that don't make sense to me. It had to be some type of argument between you and this man because he just shot your sister.
And then the dude intentionally let this man go free. He let him go free and waited till that the police had him in custody and fired. So you got a vendetta against the popos. I got it. But what about your baby? And why you let this woman's brother live and you about to kill your own seed?
Your own child. 1 month old. This baby was 1 month old, y'all.
That's crazy.
It is. It's beyond crazy. Well, we're going to get into this last clip on this, y'all. And then we're going to give our commentary. And then we'll get into our motivation. Here we go.
The ABC investigators found criminal history for Jones dates back to 2004. He's been booked for things like car theft, firearms, and drug charges. We spoke with a woman who says she's Morris's mother-in-law who didn't want to give her name.
My son-in-law was full of anguish, anxiety, stress, and something in his mind just snapped at that point.
She told us Jones's current wife tried to tell police Friday morning that he's had mental challenges.
In the following week, he had an appointment to get a mental assessment, but that mental assessment didn't come fast enough.
In Phoenix, Jordan Bonnke, ABC 15, Arizona.
Let's bring in Faye Fredericks now. And Faye, you were also out at the scene all night tonight, spoke one-on-one with Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams.
Yeah, Chief Jerry Williams telling me that 5 of her officers are home tonight, 4 others still in the hospital, some facing surgeries in the coming days, but still in good spirits. We also talked about the baby involved in all this.
Having that young baby in the barrage of gunfire, I'm a parent. Most parents out there, grandparents, all the above. It just kind of gives you chills to think that person, that little human who did nothing to anyone, is involved in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah, Chief Williams clearly upset at the events of the last 20 hours, expressing her pride in her officers and calling this another brazen and senseless attack on law enforcement.
39 times this year alone. It's just February, y'all, so we're not even past February. We've had critical incidents like this across our country. There is this blatant disregard to human life. It's a blatant disregard of law enforcement. It has to stop.
It has to stop, y'all. I'm with her. It has to stop. This is just, it's getting out of hand. It is completely getting out of hand. Yeah, my mouse ain't working. But Jason, what you drinking over there? What's that? Water?
H2O.
Yes, Jason is into that water. There you go. Okay. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. But, you know, I just can't say it enough. Thank God that baby wasn't hurt. That's amazing. All them shots. Y'all heard them gunshots. All them gunshots, and this baby just laying on the porch and didn't get touched not one time. And here the officers running like ants. Like, y'all didn't think nothing was gonna happen? Y'all supposed to be trained for this type of stuff. I don't think all of them needed to go. That was my whole thing. I don't think if they were going, the news woman said that they all went to go secure the baby. All of them didn't need to go secure the baby. If they all gonna go, y'all all go in and rush in there and get him. It's sad. It's so sad. But again, Thank God the baby is okay. The baby made it, but the baby have no parents. No parents. Over something senseless, I'm sure. Allegedly.
So,
Allegedly.
so the takeaway is this too: your closest ones or your friends, some of the people that you need to look after. Like if you're the strong one, do your best to always check in on someone and advertise mental health. Not necessarily like, oh, I'm a walking beacon for me. Like, no, like, but let them know that there's places that they can go to, right? Therapist for sure, right? But if you want, your religious people as well, it's a matter of finding refuge in somewhere in your own chaos. So you need someone to help you with that. And from what I'm seeing in this is that I don't think they're like all the people that they talk to. I don't think none besides the mother-in-law and
Besides the
maybe a
mother-in-law.
brother. And I can see how it was a little too late, but like you should be able to see some of those signs early. Like that's what we. If you're really paying attention to your friends and family, you can see some of those signs early. You see the change in maybe them going out too much, maybe they're drinking too much, maybe they're smoking too much, maybe their extracurricular activities is spiking. You have to pay attention to it instead of just saying like, "Oh, chill," or "That's just them." Like, no, it's not. And trying to help them through some of the situations that they got going on. Maybe talk more about what's going on with your relationship with whoever you can, because those are warning. Like there had to be a lot more warning signs than what was just spoke of.
Well, it definitely was a lot more warning signs for the mother-in-law to speak on it like that. If she knows, other people knew.
But that's the thing. But that's the crazy part is that mother-in-law right there wasn't of the mother of the daughter that passed. That was another. That was
exactly.
another.
That was a whole nother mother-in-law.
Right.
So that was my thoughts. That's the first red flag. If you married and you got a side piece and your mother-in-law is speaking on your behalf, and then she says that he assaulted his wife. I thought I heard that. So listen, he ain't right from the jump. He ain't right with his criminal back history. He ain't right in his bedroom. He ain't right in his marriage. He ain't right nowhere altogether. He's got an extramarital relationship. He done took out somebody and he got a baby out of wedlock, a baby out of adultery. So this dude is trash all day. And I mean, I don't know if I should be able to say that, but
No.
Oh, you can say it. You can say
it. It's true. You got people like that, which you have situations where now we got whole homicides happening. What happens if all of us that's not crazy turn insane? You can go from sane to insane in 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Because of what's sitting in front of you, So listen, this dude was just bad news all day. And it's sometimes women are so hard up, men too sometimes, and
and naive
in situations because we want a filler. We want somebody, just anybody, and now that just anybody like to kill you or killed you. Now what can we do now? Your legacy, your memory, you ain't got one because your life ended, and it's unfortunate.
What is it? These young ladies now be like it, and men be liking that toxic trait where they be like, "Yeah, I kill you, you act up with me." They be like, "Oh, he passionate, he a Pisces, yeah, we a Ram." I'm like, "Nah, dog, that's just
that dude's crazy.
This is just crazy. Like no one should say that to you. No one should say that to you.
No,
and not only that, some of these women were brought up in that environment. So they do feel like that's love. And I'm just keeping it 100. They do feel like that's love because that's all they saw.
No,
I have a friend that's all she saw. Not only with just her parents, but with her uncles and aunties, sisters and brothers and all of them, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the environment that you was brought up in, it may be hard to be like, no, this ain't right. This ain't love. Especially when your parents have brought you up in that. You know what I'm saying? So My heart goes out to each and every one of these families that we discussed tonight. Um, we're still proud of the man at the beginning, Vincent Simmons, that made it out after the 44 years. But at the same time, he wasn't supposed to be in there for 44 years. Then you got the Chinatown woman that wasn't aware of her surroundings, just walking. They're gonna try to walk on in her house like ain't nothing going on behind her. My heart goes out to her too. And I'm gonna take it a step further. Even though he did wrong, even though he stabbed her and killed her, my heart goes out to him because he was not brought up around with the correct parents, apparently. Now, I do understand that sometimes your life turn and go left. But if you were still brought up the right way, you may go left, but you ain't finna go kill nobody. You ain't gonna do that because you're gonna be too afraid to do that. Jason, go ahead because you seem like you got.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, man, it's a lot of people are victims of circumstances, and we don't know what his circumstance was. And here's the thing: it is mental illness. And when I was younger, and I'm talking like 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, someone bring a mental illness to me. I'm like, man, get out of here! Y'all just weak in the head. But no, like no matter how strong you are, internally, mental illness will break you if you don't have a strong foundation. And it doesn't even really have to do, and I'll bring it full circle with the whole show. It doesn't have anything to do with who raised you. It does have to do with how you were raised and what your foundation is.
Exactly.
And if you don't have a strong foundation, which is God, you won't make it far. You will crack under the pressure of life because you as a human is trying to handle it when that's not your purpose.
Exactly.
I'll leave it there.
All right. Well, y'all, we finna get into our motivation. So Nessa, at the end of every single show that I do, except for at the radio station because it's not enough time, but I always show a motivational piece at the end of the show. And the reason why I do that is because, I talk about so much real stuff that goes on. And I feel that when it's time to go to sleep at night, and usually at the end of my show, everyone is going to bed. I want them to go to bed thinking about this motivation. I want them to dream about this motivation. I want them to wake up and start their day thinking about my motivation. So that's why I play it at the end of every show. Once I play this motivation, we're going to come back, give our commentary. We're going to drop our peaches, baby. So Nessa, drop our peaches mean let everybody know where they can find you, what you got going on in the city, and all of that good stuff, okay? Now, our motivation tonight, I must say, it was inspired by SONESA. I have played this gentleman on my show before, but tonight when I knew SONESA was going on here, I could not think of no other person to play for our motivation. So here we go, TD Jakes.
Oh, wow.
You got to have the courage. Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on the verge and on the edge and in the land of coulda, woulda, and shoulda? Do you have the courage? I'm going to drop something on you. It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. Be normal and fit in. And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything He put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. Dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you neutralize your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging and the people get to talking and you stand there and say, I've come too far to turn around? Do you have the courage? I'm going to say something to you. It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you don't talk like you don't forgot where you came from. Look at you talking. It takes courage. And I'm just wondering, in this weak, watered down, mediocre society that we live in today, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, and all my ancestors have been through, and all my parents have been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream. Is there a woman left in this entire Coliseum that's got some courage?
All right. I think that was well. Hold on. That's for Pastor TD Jakes, baby. Courage. I'm gonna start this off, then I'm gonna let Jason, and then I wouldn't have it no other way but to have SONESA in this commentary as far as with this video that we just showed. But what I want to say is, when I think of courage, I think of in my own situation, what I'm doing right now, getting on here, showing you guys these clips, looking for these clips. Y'all, when I tell y'all I be so tired, I be so tired. But when I tell you, one of my friends, very, very close friend of mine, the weekend before last, she asked me, been knowing me since I was 12 years old. And she says, the missus, but she didn't say the missus. She said my real name. But she said, don't you get overwhelmed looking at these clips all day, every day about death, about people killing somebody done robbed somebody done raped somebody done did something to somebody. Don't you get overwhelmed by looking at this? And I told her, I do. I get very overwhelmed. I cry a lot. And I cry before I even get on this show. I look at these clips and I tell people that I feel like my parents sheltered me. So to watch these clips that I bring to you all, I'm amazed that there are people out there like this. So do I have courage? I definitely have courage to bring this to you all. I don't know who's looking at me on this screen. I don't know how many people is watching the missus. I don't know who gonna think that they gonna try to come over to my house and do something to me, or see me out on the street and try to do something. I don't know. But all I do know is that I have enough courage to bring this stuff to y'all, to say, I know I got a family, I know I got kids, but this is something that these people need to hear so that they can be aware of their surroundings, be aware of what they're doing. Watch who they are around. You can't even go over to your folks' house no more, y'all. Okay? You can go, but be aware of your surroundings. You don't know who they got coming over to their house. You just don't know. You just don't know. So, Jason, let me drop my peaches. Y'all can find me on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Peachy Tea Time, baby. And each and every Saturday, just as well, at His 92.3, the real definition of internet radio, baby. And my IG is the Mrs. 2007 and Peachy Tea Time on all other platforms. Thank you. Indie artists, get at me, comedians. and business owners. Get at me, baby. Jason, you go ahead.
Yeah. So what I took from it is courage is having true and undeniable belief. You know, if as long as you have that, you will believe in yourself, and obviously than more than you ever want will come true for you. But the courage to say that I know I can do it, I believe in me, and stand firm in that is where I'm coming from with what I heard from him. But I kind of piggyback on. I want to piggyback off of what you said because it struck a chord in me too to think like, yeah, this world is really it's coming to the devil's at work, and he's always been at work, and it's just ever so more prevalent now and up front, and it's becoming a bigger thing because it's starting to happen to a younger and younger demographics. And what I mean by that is by everything that's being consumed and what's being put out in this world is just nothing but that. From the music, which is a spiritual tap, you know, sonic sounds and all that stuff will tap someone in. So now that you got them, what are you going to tell them? And a lot of the things that they're listening to nowadays is mixed with that. It's a lot of, I'll shoot you here, I'll do that. And a lot of these kids don't even do it or never done it. But we even covered where there was, 15-year-old kids with, bazookas, not necessarily a bazooka, but like these really big fabricated guns, and they're real. And they wanna recreate what they hear and what they're taking in hour after hour, minute after minute. But the difference is the people that have courage to stand against it, to bring a platform like what SONESA is doing, where you still get that sonics, like that sound, but now we're giving you word. And now the courage is to say that I believe in God to people's face, even when they in doubt and they don't see God. They don't know, I don't see this. I can't. Why do you believe in this? He looks like that and he looks like that. No one knows what that entity looks like. All I know is real. And the fact that people are getting up and speaking that, and they're coming from a younger demographic as well, is showing a lot of courage for the world. So for me, it's just being undeniable faith and undeniable trust in what I know is to believe is true. Exactly. So that's what I got from that. My peaches, man. Name is Jason, but I also go by Biggie. You can catch me on all platforms. I own my own business. It is Best LLC. It is an acronym for Being Empowered Starts Today. We live life, we love unconditionally, and we seek growth. When we do all three of those, you're in your alpha state. So stay primal and get after it. Last but not least, protect your peace and drink water, please. And you can follow me on all the other platforms at CTV Radio. Come catch this vibe. Let's go.
You heard. Before SONESA say anything, there was one thing that I forgot to say. And I have to say this because I've been thinking about it all day today. And I said, I got to say it on the show. For each and every one of you, I know Kanye West has been out here in these streets, baby, and he ain't been rocking right. But to each and every one of you that got Netflix, please, please, please go and watch the documentary. The documentary dropped either today or yesterday. It's a 3-part segment, and the first one aired, and then you got to wait for the other 2. But there was one part in there that stuck out to me. It was a few of them, but the main one was they showed Kanye's mom. And to see how supportive she was of him in the flesh, because she gone now. To see how supportive she is of him and how much confidence she had in him as a mother, for a son that's out here trying to make it, being a rapper, a producer. To see the confidence that she had in him, I assure y'all will understand why Kanye has the confidence that he has in himself. How Kanye was able to get millions and millions of people and his friends to have confidence in him. And it starts within the home. It starts within the home. Hands down, he had a very good mom. Very good mom. So supportive of him. And that's what I aspire to be. A supportive mom of my children. Because that's what's going to get them to that next step. It's going to get them to understand that, I'm not finna listen to y'all and what y'all got going on. Because my mama taught me this. And my mama taught me wrong from right. And I know I need to go right. You know what I'm saying? So watch it after the show, tomorrow, whenever. Just please, please, please make sure you watch it. It is explicit language, but it's a message. It's a message in it, y'all. So please make sure you watch it. Now, SONESA, we got to make sure we give you the floor from this point on. I thank you, but you go ahead, young lady. Pastor.
So, of course, I have to pull out my handy dandy concordance.
Yeah, I saw you flipping over there. I saw you flipping. I was so happy. I was like, go ahead, bring it to us, girl. Bring it.
I just want to give you the Bible definition of courage. Courage is fearlessness in the face of danger. And so we are always in the face of danger. No matter what is going on, it's always darkness around us. It's always obstacles. It's always things that have been put to try to derail us or to give us detours or to be stumbling blocks or hindrances. And so I just want to say this. I thank God for the courage to be able to get up and walk through this life, to do what we have to do, because every day is a challenge. Every day is a battle. Every day is a fight. And so when you wake up in the mindset of understanding that you got all hosts of heaven with you, and that God is on the throne and God is in you, don't matter what coming after me, they can't touch me, because I'm in right standing with my daddy and I understand who I am. So I think the courage for me is understanding my identity and where I come from, what the blueprint is for my life, unless God gives it to me how he gives it to me. I don't know everything, but I just thank God for being in a space where I can take on the things that he has called me to, and understand that I'm a conqueror. So in that's fearlessness. That's courage, to be courageous, to be bold, understanding that I got the tenacity to keep going. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. Obstacles gonna be there. Opposition gonna be there. Naysayers gonna be there. Because if we didn't have them, it wouldn't be no need for God to demonstrate his hand on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just leave it right there. Y'all can find me on all social media platforms as SONESA Cooper. And for those of you that would like to purchase my music, you can do so by going to my website. That's www.outpourglobal.com. Outpour Global is my company. I'm excited about everything that's going on. Listen, and don't forget, you can vote for me for my song King Jesus nominations at www.vogma.org, and it is unlimited. So listen, y'all can vote 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day for the next 2 months. I appreciate your support. God bless y'all. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. So y'all, the information is up right now, where you go and vote at www.vogma.org. It's also in the comments just as well. So please, y'all, please go vote for SONESA. And when SONESA win all 3, because we're gonna claim it, when she win all 3, she gonna come back on this show. We gonna do us a little praise dance, we gonna clap our hands.
Stomp our feet.
But what we're not gonna do is this. We ain't gonna do that. Okay. But SONESA, please, after the awards, even though I know you're coming on the 26th, but after the awards, I would really, really love for you to come back and join us again, sit with us, kick it with us. I really, really, really enjoyed you tonight. I really did.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed being here. You guys are funny, lively, keeping it 100. Thank y'all for the respect. Y'all
Oh,
Yes.
you welcome, boo. You're welcome.
Bloodline. We ain't finna drink. We ain't finna cuss. So
Nope.
we ain't doing none of that.
Nope.
Yeah,
I
you
But
know,
appreciate
because
it.
if I did, there would have been 3 people after me, baby. And it would have been number 1, Mama Peach.
Oh Lord.
Number 2, my mother-in-law, because I'm married too. And number 3, the Lord, girl. The Lord. Oh my gosh. He would have came right after me, girl. But just out of respect that I have for you,
I appreciate
respect that I have for myself, respect that I have for Jason, there's no way, hands down. One thing I can always say, and I tell people, and it might be hard for people to believe, but it's the truth. I curse like a sailor. I do around my friends, and that's it. That's it. I don't slip up in front of my mama. I don't slip up in front of my mother-in-law, elders. It never happens. And I do not curse at my kids. I do not do that, you know. But sometimes I get it in. Y'all get it in. I get it in. Y'all already know that. But once again, Sonesa, thank you so much. You have brightened my day. I'm going to think about this interview and remember this for the rest of my life. I thank you so much. I really do.
Can we ask for one favor before we get out of here?
Of course.
So Nessa, you got to do one. Leave us with a good little prayer for us. Can you please?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank
So
you.
God, we just,
I knew you had some God in you, Jason. Thank
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Look, what I've been tested in battle with. My armor is getting put together. I'm about to be out there with Sonesa in a minute. Look, trust in me.
I know that's right though.
I've been tested.
Let's go.
Exactly. I might be coming right along with y'all. Now, after Sonesa do her prayer, Sonesa, please do not drop down. Stay on so we could chat just a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and play my babies. Y'all know how I go. But we're going to go ahead and do this little prayer by Sonesa, the pastor. So let's do it. Here we go.
Lord, we just thank you right now in the name of Jesus for giving us the opportunity to come together. And God, I'm praying that we take away from your presence understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. God, I thank you, Father, for allowing us to be aware. I thank you, Lord, for just being the platform that we have. I'm praying, Father, that we would engrap ourselves in the rock. And Lord, I'm praying that we would glean from you. Lord, fill us, Lord, in the name of Jesus. And I just thank you right now that you would release us from any deficiencies, anything that is shortcomings, anything that's not like you, God. Any satanic devices that's been sent against us, God. We bind, banish, uproot, and destroy today. And I'm praying, Father, in the name of Jesus, that you allow us to have a closer walk with you. Oh, God, I'm asking, God, that you would just give us revelation, understanding, and knowledge. Give us wisdom, God. Allow us to know who we are. Allow us to know our DNA. Allow us to know our identity, Lord, in the name of Jesus. And I pray, Father, that we will not be aimlessly in this world on purpose, but we will be set forth, God, for your purpose, destiny, and alignment of your will for our lives in the name of Jesus. And God, we decree and declare that you will protect us, keep us from any hurt, harm, and danger. And God, we decree and declare these things so in the name of Jesus. And we come against any recoil, retaliation, backlash, and vengeance and bondage from the enemy right now. And God, I just thank you right now for just leading us and guiding us. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Peace return. Peace return. Peace return. Peace return. Peace return.